Hi and welcome to the Malat cookery channel. So today I'm doing another Chinese restaurant recipe, crispy seaweed. So this is another recipe from a Chinese restaurant, deep fried crispy seaweed. I came back, told the family that I couldn't believe that this was actually deep fried shredded cabbage. So they used cabbage instead of seaweed. I was the only person in the family that didn't already know, so this is possibly the worst kept secret. So we're going to be using spring cabbage for this recipe, which is what this particular restaurant uses. Just a couple of minor changes. One is that I'm not going to put as much sugar on the fried cabbage as they do in the restaurant. And the second one is the restaurant uses a thing called fish floss, which is almost like a crumbed fish seasoning. Went to buy some from the Chinese wholesalers to use for this recipe, but it's £10 for a small tub, so it's way too expensive. So you can use it if you want to, and it's readily available at all of the Chinese supermarkets and wholesalers that I go to. So they're the only two changes. The other thing is this particular restaurant, after they've shredded the cabbage, they blanch it in water. I've had a look at a few videos on YouTube with regard to crispy seaweed, and none of the other videos show that. So I phoned the restaurant to ask them why they did it, and basically that step is to get rid of a lot of the chlorophyll that comes out of the cabbage when it's cooking. And for a commercial restaurant, just blanching the cabbage beforehand means that they can use the oil for frying for an extended period of time. So it's possibly a step that's not necessary, obviously if you're not in a commercial kitchen, but I'm going to do it anyway because I just want to follow this recipe as closely as possible. As usual, a full list of ingredients will be given at the end of the video, so let's have a look at those ingredients now and anything else we're going to need for today. So for this recipe, I've got a couple of large spring cabbage leaves, just to demonstrate. These have been washed. Got some salt, some MSG, optional, sugar, and some sunflower oil for cooking. So first thing we do after we've washed and dried the leaves is we want to take out this central stalk, just like that. So knife either side, take out the stalk. Obviously we're going to do that for both. Next thing we want to do is just to fold over the leaf a couple of times, just like that, and then we just want to thinly slice. So once we've shredded the cabbage, we've got some water in the wok. Just going to simmer this cabbage for 2 minutes. Right, so next thing we're going to do with this, just going to put it through a sieve, drain it as much as we can. So we've got our drained shredded cabbage. The only other thing I've done is taken a spatula and actually pushed out as much water as I possibly can over the sink, and then fluffed it all back up again. So we've got some oil for cooking. This is at 170 degrees centigrade. So it's important that you don't have the oil too hot, otherwise the cabbage will just fry and burn on the outside and won't cook on the inside. So 170 degrees centigrade. So just place our cabbage in. And this will literally take just a couple of minutes. So when it starts bubbling up, you know that the cabbage is done. So I'm just going to drain this and then put it into a serving bowl. So on our crispy seaweed, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of MSG, and a little bit of sugar. And that's it. So there you go, crispy seaweed, Chinese restaurant recipe. So before filming this, I actually tried doing the crispy seaweed without blanching it in the water, and there is a little bit of a difference. So when I don't blanch it in the water, almost get like an earthy taste. Very similar to obviously fried cabbage, I suppose. But blanching it takes away that and tastes a little bit more like the actual restaurant crispy seaweed. What does this taste like? Well, just like the restaurant. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.